Swain's mate, First Class Joseph Wright, United States Coast Guard, retired.
I think I just. Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. We're here with the Joe Wright Retirement Race. You see Eddie Morris's truck on the screen right now. My name's Josh Hall. Joined tonight in the booth with our good friend Garrett Kinder. Garrett, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing great. Ready to see some great Superspeedway action, and of course celebrate some retirement party a little bit. I guess what you could say for Joe. I'm excited to be a part of this, man.
Yeah, Joe just recently retired from the Coast Guard, and we have a little tribute video we'll show you during qualifying. But yeah, it's a great little tribute. Joe Wright, as we know, is a huge Superspeedway fan. I met Joe about 11 years ago, running in a league called the F&D Series. And since then, we've enjoyed running Superspeedways together, as well as some of our Superspeedway friends are here in the chat in the room as well. So this will be a good race. I know in typical Joe fashion, he is running a few minutes late. He doesn't even really know that this race is for him. So, but it's a nice tribute to him. And a little bit about the format. We'll be running 50 laps here tonight. We're going to have 3 sets of tires. We're going to go F&D style on the qualifying attempt, as we're going to have just 1 lap of qualifying. These guys will have 2 resets, and I believe 75% fuel. So it will be a great race here. So far, we got about 12 guys showed up. I know there is a couple more who are supposed to make their way in here. So it should be a fantastic one tonight. And I know Garrett doesn't know Joe quite as well as I do, but he's been announcing the original Rebels with me for 2 seasons. So it's always fun to get that going.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get to talk to Joe a few times during last season. Didn't get to talk to him. I think he did a couple of the first races, and I had a week showing whenever he was broadcasting for us. But from the little bit I talked to him up in the booth during some post-race interviews, a heck of a guy. And, you know, I've learned a little bit more about him. I did a touch of research, I guess what you could say. By research, I mean I read the hood of Eddie Morris's car and kind of read what he was into, and read the different, I guess, postings he had throughout his Coast Guard career. And man of many talents from what I can read. And it's really excellent that y'all put this on for him. As far as the field goes, I've heard stories about some of these guys, and then I've raced with quite a few of them. So I'm really interested to see how everybody meshes together and how things go, man. It's going to be great.
Yeah, Superspeedways racing is one of those things where, you know, you don't have to be the fastest car on track to be the winner. Oh man, Brian Merle Jr. just came in the chat, said won't be able to make it tonight, but thank Joe Wright for his service. Hopefully you whoop him tonight. So another one who was supposed to be here tonight, but good to see the support in the chat. And we are live in our normal spots on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. I see 8 people watching right now, so don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to give a comment here. Leave a comment. These comments will stay with the stream for a while, so you'll be able to read your comments after the race as well. So, but it should be a fun one here. So we're getting ready to get some qualifying underway in about a minute. And I just realized that the iRacing Oval Series logo is up on the screen, which it should not be.
That's all right. We'll let it slide this time around.
Yeah, and Junior just said he just got off work. Cutting lots of hair, Junior is. So it's good to see these guys out here supporting Joe, and which should be a really fun race. Small field, but you know, sometimes on a super speedway, 12, 13 cars, that's a good field for a super speedway.
I really think that some of your better racing comes from these smaller fields. You know, everybody seems like they'll probably be bunched up a little bit more. Smaller fields, less likely people are going to hang back, just kind of hang out or whatever. So, you know, you might see guys that are just going for it. And I'm really anxious to see it. I know I've raced with quite a few of these guys, and there's some good super speedway racers in here, and especially from what I've heard from you about some of these other guys that Joe has raced with throughout his iRacing career. You said you've been with him 11 years. I'm sure he's been with some of these other guys for multiple years. So I'm really anxious to see just how well everybody works together. See if there's any teammates that link up or anything like that. It's super speedway racing, and it doesn't get much better than Talladega, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Quickly in the chat, Junior says back to school cuts got him slammed. It makes sense. His back to school time. Then he asks, where is Joe? Well, that's a good question. Joe is logged into the race. I know he was out on the boat with his wife earlier. He said he was on his way home. He really didn't know this race for him. Where's Atlee? Atlee's on the track. Atlee is, actually, let's take a look. There's Atlee on track right now, running a special paint job, actually. This paint job is reminiscent of the basketball team that Joe actually coached. That's how Joe and Atlee met. Joe was Atlee's basketball coach for a few years, and this is the Gloucester Jayhawks basketball team colors. And
that's something I've always really admired about the intensity group of guys over here is that everybody seems to be interconnected in some way other than iRacing. It almost seems like y'all have relationships that extend past the sim, past iRacing, past even online presence. It's a real friendship that y'all have developed. That's something that definitely shows through in the broadcast.
yeah, it's a neat thing. Like I said, I've known Joe for 11 years. I just met him for the first time at Watkins Glen a couple weeks ago. So it was kind of neat. Is the voice volume low? I don't think my voice volume is very low. Let me double check Kinder's here.
Hello, Racing World.
No, his volume's up there, but let me turn this up just a little bit more. I had him turned down just a little bit, so. Yeah, Eddie, I think it's just you.
I do have a tendency to get a little bit excited, so I may scream later, but not right now.
But yeah, it was really neat to meet Joe recently and his brother at Watkins Glen. And personally, one of my friends that I've met through iRacing, my friend Jason Loy, who I was hoping was going to be able to make the race tonight. Looks like he may not be, but he was actually in my wedding as he stood up for me at my wedding, not as a best man, but as one of my groomsmen. So it was really neat to bring that full circle as well. Currently, Atlee Weiss up to the pole. So if you guys are running
behind him, looks like old Smoking Sam Wetstein laid down a good Mac, but Todd Mays, I believe that's how you say the last name. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Josh.
You are 100%.
He is sitting on the pole right now, beat Atlee by just a hundredth or so.
Yep, Uncle Todd up on the pole. We got Kyle Mays now finishing his qualifying attempt way down on the apron, which is legal here to do. And Kyle is going to qualify fourth. Kyle last night won the Pelican Snowball. Pelican Snowball Super Speedway Championship last night. So good to see him. We know he's a good Super Speedway racer. He proved it very well here the last couple nights in that Pelican Snowball Super Speedway Series.
From what I understand, y'all have accrued quite the Super Speedway super team to come in here and race this race. So it's going to be great to see some of these guys working around each other.
Yeah, and there's a couple guys here that you normally don't talk about during the Super Speedway racing too much, but or regular racing. But guys like Matt Knights. Matt is one of the Rebels. He does run the Xfinity Series, and he runs in the I believe in the Outlaws as well. And he usually shows some good speed here at the Super Speedways. He enjoys it.
I've got to race around Matt Knights a few times, and always a great racer, always great to be around him. Always great to work with, especially I think I've been around him a couple times during Daytona for the Xfinity Series over in Rebels, and he's going to be somebody to watch out for sure. He's a little slow on the qualifying time, but as you well know, Josh, that qualifying times don't mean just a whole lot here, as draft dependent is the name of Talladega. It's all about getting runs and making moves when you can.
Absolutely. So we got about 5 minutes left in qualifying. We actually have a little video that we're going to play here commemorating Joe here, and this is brought to you by Atlee Knights, Atlee Weiss, who put this together. So I'm going to play that for you guys now.
Swain's mate, First Class Joseph Wright, United States Coast Guard, retired. To begin his training for the Coast Guard, Wright attended boot camp at the Coast Guard Training Center in Cape May, New Jersey. He graduated on August 10, 2001. Wright advanced to a BM3 at a Coast Guard station in Wilmette, Illinois. BM3 stands for Boatswain's Mate, Third Class. A boatswain's job includes deck maintenance, navigation duties, and a boatswain can take control of a ship if needed. As a BM3, Wright participated in the first ever Milwaukee Boat Rodeo in 2003. In the photo, Wright in the left, boat in the back, and his teammate are trying to beat the other teams from reaching a training dummy on a platform. Wright was representing the Coast Guard station in Wilmette. After getting promoted to Boatswain's Mate Second Class, Wright was put on the newly commissioned United States Coast Guard cutter Swordfish. Wright went on a 97-day journey out of Louisiana, through the Gulf of Mexico, through the Panama Canal, and up the Pacific Ocean to Port Angeles, Washington. From 2005 to 2007, Wright spent 2.5 years escorting submarines in and out of the Strait of Juan de Fuca. On July 21st, 2013, Wright had the honor of holding the American flag at the STP 300 at Chicagoland Motor Speedway. Joey Logano won the race. At the Coast Guard Training Center in Yorktown, Virginia, Wright taught at Boatswain's Mate A School. Wright also received his bachelor's degree in Information Systems Security. After applying to become a cybersecurity officer, the Coast Guard chose Wright for the job, and he went to Alexandria, Virginia, where he supervised the watch for the Coast Guard's information systems. Wright took a joint cyber analyst course in November of 2018 in Pensacola, Florida. He was a class leader and graduated in the top 3 of his class. In 2019, he went to the Coast Guard headquarters in Washington, D.C. and became a watch supervisor for the Cybersecurity Operations Center. At the center, he did incident response. In 2020, he went back to Florida to take an intermediate cyber course in Pensacola. He soon went back to D.C., where he was part of the first ever cyber protection team. One of Wright's accolades is the Coast Guard Achievement Medal. The medal was created in 1967 and is awarded to someone for outstanding achievements. Another one of his accolades is the Captain David P. Dobbins Award. Captain Dobbins was a schooner master in the 1800s and performed many great rescues. The Captain David P. Dobbins Award is presented to someone who demonstrated outstanding action, judgment, and professionalism while in the Great Lakes area. Wright's retirement ceremony was on July 16, 2021. Wright retired from the Coast Guard after 20 years. His retiring rank is Boatswain's Mate, Petty Officer, First Class. Thank you, Joseph Wright, for serving our country in the United States Coast Guard. We hope you enjoy your retirement. Boatswain's Mate, First Class, Joseph.
So there you have it. Our very own Joe Wright, who has finally made it into the server here. Uh-oh. As my iRacing decided to black itself out. Give me just a second. I'm going to have to get this fixed up real quick. Bear with me just a moment.
Let's say I've got him. He's running the track.
Bear with me, folks, for 1 second. I just got to do a quick reboot of iRacing. I do apologize for that, but we'll be right back with you. Yes, I have you're muted. But. Again, I do apologize, folks, for the technical difficulties. We are getting back up and running as quickly as we can. We'll be right back with you. Thank you for bearing with us with those technical difficulties there. I do apologize for that, but we are back here and ready to rock and roll. Let's go through our grid here. We take a look at our pole sitter, the number 25 of Todd Mays on the outside. I'm sorry, the pole sitter is the 13 of Mark Shavers, and the outside is Todd Mays. Starting in the second row in the third spot, Brian Nudie with Atlee Atman Weiss in the outside in fourth. Kyle Mays will roll off in fifth in the 55 machine, with Sam Wetstein in the 98 rolling off in sixth. Fourth row, you're going to find Logan Hagerman in the 7 with Matt Knights to his outside in eighth. And you're going to find Joe's brother Dave in the 9th spot with Alex Veith to his outside of row number 5. Eddie Morris in the 8 with the tribute truck. He'll be rolling off in 11th with Joseph Wright, the man of the hour, in the 12th spot. 13th, you're going to find Logan Sturgeon in the 26 with William Griffith and Dean Qualley rounding out the rest of the field. And, man, as we get these trucks going, we're getting ready to rock and roll again. I do apologize for those little technical difficulties. I clicked on Joe's name to show him, and my iRacing decided that it wanted to crap the bed. But we are
just in time.
Just in time. We're getting ready to go racing here as the pace truck's bringing them through turns 3 and 4. And to tribute our good friend Joe here, these truck cars are getting ready to rock and roll.
So it looks like 15 cars total in the field. That's going to be plenty to make an excellent race over here at Talladega. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys work it out.
Yeah, we were kind of hoping for at least 15 to 20. We got 15 in here, so we're getting ready to rock and roll. And Kinder, look at that. That pace truck is making that hard left turn on the pit road. And Mark Shavers is going to lead him down to the starting line. First start's going to be on our leader here, so. And here's the green flag in the air. And we are racing here at Talladega. And it's a great jump so far from Todd Mays, but just not able to get anybody to work with him as Allie did not get as good a run. That's going to let Mark Shavers and Brian Nudie hook up on the bottom side. Here comes Kyle Mays to join the fun there on the bottom as well. Top lane.
Looks like they're going to be took up pretty wide, pretty well too wide. Looks like 4 rows back is get a car jumping out of that inside line going to the high side there.
Yeah, that top lane was kind of falling apart, but there's Kyle Mays now jumping up to that high side as we go into turn number 3.
And folks, folks, just be prepared. At Talladega, you can get away with 2-wide racing. You can get away with 3-wide, and if you're feeling really tricky every once in a while, people can get away with 4-wide, but I don't recommend it, Josh.
Well, you know, 3-wide's going to happen, especially Joe Wright hanging back there in the back. We know he's going to be the first one that's going to hop up there onto that high side. There's Logan Hagerman making a move up in front. And Dave Wright going there too. So we got new contenders already battling for the lead.
Looks like David's trying to give him a heck of a push on that outside. Looks like they just don't have quite enough to combat with that inside line through the turn. We'll see what kind of run they can get on the backstretch here.
Yeah, we know that these guys can push much better in the trucks than any other vehicle here on iRacing. As you see Brian Nudie giving a big shove to Mark Shavers there. They come off a turn number 4. Mark Shavers kind of controlling this race right now. Dayton says in the chat, woohoo, have fun, guys. 100% fuel and 2 fast repairs. So those fast repairs will be key here. As we see Joe Wright in the back, trying to make it 3-wide by himself back here. Trying to get something going.
3-wide in the middle at that. That's a risky move, and he makes it work as he clears the 25 there. And it looks like he's going to be running the high side here.
Now we see Joe tucking in here behind Kyle Mays. Now he's looking to the outside all by himself. I think
big run 3-wide again as he's going to the top side.
Look
at that run.
Making it work by himself. Now
he's going to stall out a little bit here through the turn, see if he can tuck back in.
And now Kyle Mays isn't going to give him the room. Neither is Todd here. But Atman might. Now Todd is going to give him the room, and Atman's going to get right there and latched in. Back up front, we got Eddie Morris in the 8 now looking to challenge for the lead. And already early in this...
I've enjoyed my races with Eddie Morris, and seeing him run up front, he's dangerous these super speedways.
That is for sure. As we see Logan Hagerman hooking up with Eddie here, and Logan and Eddie were teammates in the iOS series, so they're good at working together. And you're seeing just that right now. Is we got a little bit of 2-car tandems up here. As we got Eddie Morris and Logan Hagerman on the high side. You got Mark Shavers and Brian Nudie on the bottom side. That's about a 4-car length gap back to Logan Sturgeon, the Fish, and Joe Wright working his way up there.
Logan Sturgeon started back in 13th place. Looks like he's running about 5th right now as they make a little bit of contact through the tri-oval. Everybody seems to get out, and they're 3-wide up front for the lead.
Yeah, they were just 4-wide for a second as Joe Wright making a power move with a great push from Kyle Mays. And the man of the hour, Joe Wright's going to move up. I believe he's going to take the lead here coming off of turn number 2.
See if they can get a good run off of turn 2 here. It looks like they're going to get a great push. 55 car of Kyle Mays is giving a heck of a push down the back stretch as he's going to definitely clear down into turn 3. See if he can get his push car cleared. You know, Josh, I've always thought, you know, especially with these super speedways, you got to dance with the guy that brought you. And so anytime somebody pushes me in the lead, I try and pull them right along with me, see if they can get P2 out of the deal.
For sure. Now look at that big jump up to the outside, that pink machine. That's the 12 of William Griffith, who's up there trying to make a big run. And one of the Rebels drivers on the outside, he's got some help too. I see Eddie Morris. I'm trying to see who's at between them there.
Looks like the 51 of Alex Beath is trying to push old Griff around the outside here. Griff's a teammate of mine, so I hope to see him do some pretty good work tonight. But looks like they're going to stall out on that third line there, see if he can tuck back in.
Now let's take a ride along here with Alex Beath, kind of see what he's seeing right now. As he makes a move down to the bottom side, he's going to look underneath Matt Knights here. We take a look at the run he's getting now. He's getting around Logan Hagerman.
Alex Beath with a big pull from the car in front, or the truck in front of him, car truck. I know that's something y'all love over here in Tennessee, those old car trucks, man. And Alex is getting a heck of a pull from the guy in front of him.
And we got some 3-wide in the back. Atman stuck in the middle with no help. And he's, although he's got a little bit of a suck now from those 2 Maze boys up in the middle line, and he's got a head of speed coming off of turn number 2.
Looks like it's going to be Kyle Todd and then Atlee Weist out there in that second line. And they're going to make something work here. I can see Logan pushing up behind Atlee here. And I'm anxious to see they're 3 wide through turn 3 here. And it's going to be great to see how this turns out. It's great racing already. We're, 7 laps in, and it's already fantastic.
Yeah, this is my personal set that these guys are running here tonight. So I know it's a racy set, and you're seeing it already, as we've already had quite a few lead changes, and they've been able to keep it clean so far as well.
Well, Josh, if you want to share that set with me, I'm always open to it, buddy.
Oh, we got one to go around in the back.
Oh no!
We got Griff around. I see Sam Wetstein spinning as well. It's like Dean Qualley able to make it through. Logan Sturgeon involved as well, and it's going to bring up our first caution. And our first, I know it's not Sunday, but they're off this weekend, so it'll be our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind.
It's great to see that graphic up on the screen, my friend.
Yeah, we got to get that. We got to get the cows doing something this week.
That's right.
So we can see what happened.
Looks to me like Sam Wetstein got a heck of a run on Logan Sturgeon. Just made a little bit of what I like to call a bad touch through the middle, and going into turn 1, maybe turn Logan just a touch.
Oh, let's rewind that back a little bit, because I want to. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing as well. As Sam gets ahead of steam, and it looks like a big checkup in front of him. And Atlee got almost into the back of Todd. He checked up. That caused Logan to check up, and when that happened, Sam had nowhere to go. A little accordion effect. See Dave Wright getting involved as well. Matt Knight's getting through it. Dean Qualley able to get it slowed down and through. And you know what? Even though these guys have 2 resets, it doesn't look like a whole lot of damage for some of these guys.
I think a lot of them were just incidental contact after the wreck that just kind of sent them down in the grass. So we'll see how many guys come in here, take fast repairs, get some stuff taken care of. There may be some guys, thinking, hey, I want to save these fast repairs for later on in the race. They might just try and come in and get some damage fixed right off the bat. They might run in the back for a little bit. Come in later, get that fast repair done, and see if they can make a push up to the front.
Absolutely. And thank you, everybody who's watching, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or if you're watching on eRacing TV and we can't see your chats. We appreciate you all being out there tonight. And Kinder, you heard of that eRacing TV thing?
I have heard of eRacing TV. It's a fantastic deal. Over there on Roku and Fire Stick, download the app. You can get all the original Rebels racing. You can get Intensity. I think everything all broadcast is on there now, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Pretty much every single broadcast is going to be on there. So you get live racing, iRacing, 7 nights a week between Intensity broadcasts and a couple other broadcasts as well. So check it out. That's eSpace Racing TV.
It's really a fantastic deal, man. When we got approached with that, it was an immediate thing. Said, hey, we need to get everybody on board with this that we're in close with. And, of course, Intensity been with the original Rebels since pretty much day 1, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all were number 1 on our list, man. It's a fantastic deal. It's really cool.
So, Kinder, we're going to do something a little different here. We're going to pull in our leader of the race right now. Let's talk it.
Hit me with it.
Hey, Joe, you got Kinder and Josh up in the booth. You got us?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Man, so how surprised were you to see this when you got signed into the race tonight?
Pretty wild. I had no clue it was happening, so that's pretty funny.
Well,
Yeah.
Joe, it's Garrett Kinder over here. Man, I've seen you taking it 3 wide a couple times, making some big moves left and right, it seems like. Are you feeling pretty confident out there tonight?
Oh, I always feel confident in super speedways. Me and Josh have been doing this for too many years, and this is my bread and butter. If I go here, this is where I want to be. You'll see me on the high line. I hate the low line. I hate leading at the front. I just want to go back and do it all over again. So it's just fun to go through the field.
Well, man, you're making it work so far, it seems like. And, man, I got to tell you, congratulations on your retirement. It's a fantastic deal. I'm glad I got to be a part of it, and hope to see you up front here soon.
Hey, thanks, Garrett. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and Joe,
Yes, sir.
before we let you go, how's that set feeling tonight?
It's feeling a little faster. I bet it's got a little plus 5% speed.
No, you don't. You got the same thing everybody else is running here tonight. Unfortunately, we can't do a Dale Jr. here and give you extra power. But
It
no,
felt like it had more.
that is my personal set. I love this set, and I figured you would too. And I saw you with that big run on the outside by yourself, so it's showing me that set's working for you tonight.
For sure.
Well, again, Joe, congratulations. You got a lot of good words. In the in the chat here as well. You should go back and check. We got Brian Merrill Jr. says, congrats on your retirement. He wasn't able to make it because of back to school haircuts. We got Sean Simonelli saying, here's to Joe. He's one of the good ones. Here, here. Of course, Dayton said, have some fun tonight. And
Nice.
and here's a chat from Mary Wright who says, go Joe.
That's my mama.
So Mama's watching at home too. So I'm going to put you back up there with the boys. Enjoy. Looks like lights are probably going to be going off on the pace car this time by.
Go get them,
deal.
Joe.
Try. Thanks, guys.
Have some fun.
All right, man.
So there you have it. Joe's having a little fun out there. It's good to surprise him. And it's always fun when you can race with a bunch of guys you like racing with.
Oh, absolutely. That's something that league racing as a whole has really introduced me to. And this intensity thing, and I told you about it earlier, Josh, when we were talking in private, but I'll bring it up here. How well these guys mesh together, and you brought it up that, you know, no matter who you bring in, it seems like everybody is kind of on the same page. You can cut up, you can have a good time with them. iRacing is a platform that, man, it's almost better. It's definitely better than social media. Don't even get me started on that. But it's something that these guys can come together. They can get out there and beat and bang against each other, have a good time, get some good runs on each other, and race the heck out of each other, and then sit there and cut up about it afterwards. Because at the end of the day, we're not paying for anything but the service. Really, we're not paying for broken race cars.
No, and tempers can flare because it's racing. I mean, it's iRacing. It's some people it's a game. Some people, like, I treat it as a simulator. But for other people, it's a poker night out, like the original Rebels try to run their leagues. And, yeah, you get mad at each other, but you're back being friends. I mean, hell.
Absolutely.
When you got in the server tonight, I started giving you some hell right away.
Oh, and I expect nothing less from you, to be completely honest. Well, I'm just used to it at this point. But a perfect example of giving each other heck and then you're on the racetrack and then being good friends afterwards. I flat out killed Logan Sturgeon at Martinsville, 2 weeks ago? Me and him we're still buds. I mean, it's just one of them deals.
Yep. Or as I've been calling him all week long and giving him a little bit of hell is Brian Nudie coming home second in the iOS ARCA Series, coming home second in the iOS Cup Series. So I've been calling him Mr. Second Place. And
Mr. Second Place.
Mr. Second Place. But right now he's sitting back in sixth, and he's got a stout truck there too. So Pace Truck is on pit road. We're going to be going back green flag racing here in just a moment as they're re-racked, restacked, getting ready to refire here at Talladega. And Mark Shaver is going to lead them down to the restart zone. So we get the track little view here. Green flag back in the air. He hits that loud pedal. And we're back racing, and Logan Sturgeon.
Looks like a good jump from both lines there.
Yeah, and Logan Sturgeon already was looking up to that third line, but looks like he tucked back in line there for a moment.
Logan Sturgeon is one of those guys I've raced against on numerous Superspeedway races, and he knows how to push. He knows how to get some stuff done. So with him right there behind William Griffith trying to take it 3 wide in the middle right here as he's pushing that car up front. I can't tell exactly who that is.
That's the 25 of Todd Mays, that old Bay machine in the middle line there. Got Alex Veith with a great show from Brian Nudie there on the high side. And you got Veith, Nudie, Sturgeon, and Sam Wetstein on the high side. Oh, Veith gets turned down into Kyle Mays, and we got a big wreck on the backstretch. That's going to bring the caution flag back out as Alex Veith, I don't know if Alex just got a bad bump there or if he might have smacked the wall a little bit. Let's take a look at the wreckage rewind here and see if we can see what happened here.
Them cattle are going to get tired tonight, Josh.
I think the best way to take a look at this one is I'm going to get this one up from the blimp here. Oh, this was the first one. I apologize for that. Let's try that again. Blimp's a little further away than I thought it was going to be, so let's see if we can grab a chopper view here.
Looks to me like Alex just got a little bit of, I guess, arrow loose. Wasn't getting touched or anything, but just lost the rear end of that truck and ended up plowing into that inside or that middle line.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Is he might have taken tires and tires were a little cold. Gets down into Kyle Mays, See Brian Newty get up into the wall. Dave Wright able to get around this all. Sam Wetstein can't avoid the spinning car Kyle Mays. You see Alex Veith sliding down into the inside lane. Eddie Morris, just catches that inside wall just a little bit. I don't think that's enough to really hurt that truck. I think he'll be able to get that fixed up and get back going.
You know, that's something that's not talked about enough at super speedways, I don't think, is cold tires. And especially when you're running that super high lane, Alex up there in that third groove, you can definitely get loose, especially when you've got somebody right on your bumper taking air off your rear spoiler there.
Yep, and I know, again, I know this is my set that they're running, and it is a very fast set, but it is loose for the first 2 or 3 laps, especially up there on the high side. And but it looks like everybody's coming down pit road here to get some fuel. I don't think anybody's going to take any tires, but we got takers coming in for fuels. We see Joe Wright being the first one off the pit road. And Alex Veith even spinning through the infield there. Looks like he's going to stay out here. And I have to check, because it's one of my favorite paint jobs, is Alex is not running the mullet truck tonight.
Well, that's just disappointing. Looks like he's running a Devin Clemens band. I know that's a buddy of his that plays some music up around his neck of the woods, and his Dark Horse Motorsports David Clemens band scheme. It's still a beautiful scheme nonetheless. It's classic. It looks kind of retro. It's clean. I like it, Alex.
And you know me, I'm a sucker for a good paint job, so
Well, you make some good paints, that's for sure.
I do appreciate that, as I know at least 2 of mine are out there tonight. I also love the fact that Dave Wright here is running that Coast Guard scheme. A little homage to his brother there.
And that's something that's just super neat, having your brother that's running in a race to kind of honor you in your retirement. That's something that I'm sure Joe's going to remember for a very long time. I'm sure he's going to remember this race for a long time, as it's a celebration of his service. And all these guys in here, they've had some kind of contact with Joe throughout their iRacing career, and they've made an impact in some way, shape, or form with Joe, and Joe has made an impact right back with them. So seeing all these guys out here, it's really neat. It's a thing that you don't get anywhere else. Like, it's competition, it's racing, you know, but at the same time, it's out here, and it's truly a brotherhood. It's something that not everybody gets to see every day.
You know, it's funny too, and going a little more on the iRacing thing, I always find it funny when you're in an iRace. You know, I never really paid attention to the radioactives, if you will, until I really got into iRacing, you know. And when you listen to the radioactive segments, the NASCAR radioactive segments, you realize how much these guys actually sound like us out there too.
Oh, absolutely. The to keep it PG-13, the crap talking that goes on, and the what the hecks and the holy hecks that go on.
Yeah.
It really does. It really mirrors what goes on in iRacing every single day. iRacing, I think, is over 4 million laps they've turned now throughout the service. And I'm sure at every single one of those races, somebody has said that exact statement.
You know, not to age myself on the iRacing side, but I can actually remember when they had a contest, Kinder, for the 1 millionth lap.
Who was leading it? Was that the competition?
No, what they did was when they had their 1 millionth lap, whoever led the 1 millionth lap got a $100 iRacing credit.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So,
but you are kind of dating yourself,
yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit. I've only been on the service for about 18 months now.
I want to say the first, and this was because the service was a lot smaller then. I want to say the 1 millionth lap, if I remember correctly, was right around 2013. So,
at that time, I'd never even heard of iRacing. I've got to go quick shout out to Christian, the coach Dedman. He races over in Rebels with me. He's the one that introduced me to iRacing, and therefore introduced me to you, Josh, and everybody over at Intensity. So without him, I wouldn't be sitting up here hanging out with you, calling this Talladega race, my friend.
Yep. Actually, I take it back. It was the 1 billion lap mark. It was September 8th. September 8th, 2014. 2014, they passed their 1 billion mark lap.
Oh, so they're in the billions.
We are in the billions.
That's insane.
we got the pace truck getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road.
I want to point out a hard charger right quick. Oh, William Griffith started out in 14th place. He's up to, it looks like, going to be starting on the inside line, second row. So P3, I'm guessing is where he's starting here. So William Griffith making his way up through the field pretty quick.
As we're leaning back to the restart zone with Mark Shavers, who's pretty much led every lap so far, gets on the gas. We're back green flag racing here.
Big push on the outside on that restart.
Oh.
They're already beating and banging just a little bit.
An aggressive move. I believe that was Dave Wright there. Yeah, Dave Wright there in the middle. I don't know if he just got a bad bump there, but that really spread the field out as they come through turns 2.
It definitely upset his truck. Looks like that outside line is getting a heck of a push right now.
That's Joe Wright and Matt Knights there up front, and they're going to push themselves right to the lead.
A couple of intensity broadcasters, if I'm not mistaken, sitting there taking the lead. I like to see it.
Absolutely. Like I said, Matt Knights, no slouch here at the Super Speedways. He's run lots of races with me and Joe, some of those big money races, and he's getting it done here as he's pushed himself to the lead. We got 3 wide as we got Todd Mays looking to the outside. Schaefer stuck in the middle lane. Kyle Mays and Dave Wright, though, looking to take that middle lane, trying to get some help. And, oh, almost got 4 wide there as Kyle Mays got real loose there in the middle lane.
These guys are all over the place. And at Talladega, you can get away with it. And I absolutely love to see it as Griff's low side right there on the bottom side of 3 wide. They single it out to 2 wide there. Griff down there on the bottom line. I can't tell who that is on the inside line or on the middle line there. Looks like the 13 truck of Mark Shavers trying to fight his way back to the lead.
Yep, Shavers getting a great push by Kyle Mays and David Wright right behind him. And we know you can't push the pusher as Shavers goes down to give a big side draft. Almost gets into the side of that 64 machine. They're able to keep.
And that's something that's definitely dangerous here is the old side draft. Getting down, squeezing down on somebody in the middle of the turns, trying to just slow them up just a little bit, dump your air off the front of your truck onto their rear spoiler, see if you can't get a run on exit.
Yeah, we were just 4 wide for a second. Eddie Morris way up on the high side. Here comes Atlee Weiss. Atman trying to make that middle line work. He's got some help, though. That looks like the 98 of Sam Wetstein giving a shove. You got Dave Wright now giving a big shove to Kyle Mays. We got 4-car draft up front, and Kyle Mays and Schaefer are going to retake the lead.
Got to give a shout out to Atman right quick. He just told me earlier that he got his first P3 at Langley Speedway in the old Bandolero class. So big shout out to Atlee. Congratulations, my friend.
Steve McDonald in the Facebook chat says, why isn't Garrett Kinder not racing in this? He's had too many adult beverages and he'd rather stay up here and talk with me.
Can confirm, my friend. Thank you, Steve McDonald. I'd love to be out there, but I'm enjoying myself right up here.
And again, this is not for points, not for glory. This is just for a lot of fun to honor our boy, Joe Wright here. As we're going to be coming across the line this time to start lap number 20.
Taking it 3 wide in the middle. Sending the old, what is that, the 32? I can't read it. 82 truck. Looks like he's sending him to the back.
Yep, Joe Wright sliding backwards right now, but here comes Eddie Morris with a shove. Gonna push that intensity machine forward with that great tribute to Joe on it. And Sam Wetstein's gonna jump up to the high side.
Let's see if they can't get something like a three-car draft going on this outside line here. I'm anxious to see this.
Yeah, and up front we see Dave Wright there making a big move to the outside. Nudi's gonna go right around him. Now, we all know Brian Nudi is not much of a super speedway racer. He will admit that through and through, but he's showing a pretty good showing here tonight. Oh, Matt Knights makes a big move, gets really loose off it too, able to gather it up.
See if they can get a big run going into turn 3 here. It looks like Matt Knights. It looks like him and, is that Brian Nudi that he's linked up with there?
Yep, the 40 of Brian Nudi.
Looks like they might get a heck of a run here with Atlee Weiss pushing on him here.
Uncle Todd Mays, that Old Bay machine, looking down to the inside. Has to check up. They keep from getting in the side of Atlee there, and they're still 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Through the trial.
That's another paint scheme I really like, that Old Bay machine. I'm a big fan of Old Bay seasonings, so I'm kind of weak for it.
So
Joe Wright making a big comeback on that outside line. He's 3 wide with Atlee Weiss and that old Bay machine number 7 there.
yeah, I know that. Again, that set is fast on the outside, and he's
Matt
showing
is
it.
pushing him now.
Oh,
Look at
Matt
him
gets
go.
turned.
Looks like Matt gets pushed. William Griffith down to the inside.
Brian Nudie was around, and we got a caution on the track, as that's going to bring up the cows again for another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind.
Well, you know, when you're doing 180 miles an hour, these decisions are split second. They really are, and things can change in the blink of an eye.
Yep, so we see Matt Knight's a little bit. Oh, it looks like Brian Nudie tried to force it in there 4 wide. He was being pushed by Atman, and that turned Matt Knight's right down into the 12 of William Griffith.
Looks like Atman got some damage out of it.
Yep.
Of course, Nudie got some damage out of it.
Yep, Nudie
Drift down the low side there.
So it looks like just those 3 trucks really involved in it here.
Hagerman made a little bit of contact with Nudie, but I don't think it's enough to damage his truck any. We'll see how it goes.
Actually, I'm going to go back here. I want to ride up here on board with Brian Nudie, see if we can see a little bit more of what he saw here. Let's see if I have the right camera view, which I do, which is going to be this roof cam here. We're going to go back a little bit. And we can see how fast this really happens in front of him. Hey, you know,
a heck of a run in that middle line, and I don't know if Matt Noddy's wasn't expecting it, or he didn't like the 4 wide situation, but unfortunately gets turned right there.
You know, and looking at it, Nudie was been pushing Matt for a while. He could have been getting hot right there as our leaders come to pit road now. He could have been getting hot right there, and he's just trying to get a little air to the front of that.
That is very true, and even when you're the pusher car, if you break draft, I feel like it affects the front car more than it affects you, because you're not pushing on him anymore, and you're still getting just a touch of his draft off the side there. So it's very possible.
As the entire field, except for Joe Wright, Eddie Morris, hit pit road here. We knew Shavers and I think Brian Nudie had not pit yet. This was their first time pitting, so. And Uncle Todd Mays beats him off of pit road here. With Dean Qualley right behind, then Shavers, Logan Sturgeon, Sam Wetstein, Kyle Mays, Hatman coming off, Alex Veith. Brian Nudie's still on pit road. I think he's getting some damage fixed up. Yeah, it looks like he's not taking a reset here, just getting some damage. Doesn't look like it was too much damage, so.
And that could be the move, just trying to get some damage fixed right now. I'm not saying this is going to be a caution-laden race or anything, but saving your quick repairs for the end, that's a move for sure. That's a strategy, and I like to see it from Nudie there.
Yep, I mean, it is only a 50-lap race, but a lot of these guys running a set that they're just not familiar with.
Well, and that's the deal. 50 miles at the 2.66-mile Talladega is actually a 133-mile race. So while 50 laps doesn't seem like a whole lot, 133 miles, that's a heck of a run.
Yeah, absolutely. So Joe Wright's going to be your leader here. One more chat I want to shout out in the chat here. Cassie Weiss says, go Jayhawks number 5. Rooting on Atman there. Atman's going to be restarting, looks like, from the 10th position here.
Well, Josh, you know as well as I do, 10th, 1st, last. At Talladega, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference because things can change so fast, as we just saw with that last wreck. Everything can change. The positions can get shuffled up. You can go from last to first. I'm not going to say easily, but with a touch of luck, you can make it happen.
And you can go from first to last just as easily, too.
Can confirm. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt.
One thing I do like to say, though, when talking about super speedway racing, it's like playing checkers. You know, you got to kind of look 2 or 3 moves ahead of you. And that's what really separates the men from the boys here on the super speedways, is being able to see what's going on in front of you and kind of judging that and use a little strategy to get yourself up there.
Absolutely. Checkers is a very apt comparison there. Just you got to look where the runs are coming, what the lines are doing. If you've got the line formed up behind you, if you don't, if you've got the momentum, that's the big deal. It's all about momentum here. So if there's a checkup on the inside line and the outside line's rolling, guess what? The outside line's got the momentum, and you're going to try and get up there as quick as you can. See if you can make up a spot or two.
Yeah.
So these guys are all ducking and dodging around, trying to get to the proper line to carry that momentum. See if they can't get a couple spots.
Yeah, and these trucks push such a big hole in the air that it's really easy to get a really good run on someone and just not have anywhere to go with it.
Oh yeah. As far as iRacing goes, I feel like the trucks currently have one of the more fun aero packages for super speedway racing. There's a lot of guys complain about the current Cup Series package about, oh, you can't push the guy in front of you because there's the air bubble, which is, I guess, technically more realistic. It's a lot less fun, but these trucks, man, they're still a blast to drive these super speedways.
So taking a look at Logan Hagerman's paint scheme here, and I love it. He's got the little South Park Coast Guard guys on the side. A little tribute to the U.S. Coast Guard, even though he's a native of the great up north. We appreciate the support that Hagerman is showing here to our boy, Joe Wright.
Well, that's something you've got to consider for all these guys, Josh. All these guys are here because, like I said before, Joe has affected them in some way, shape, or form, or else they wouldn't be here. I mean, this is a race. It's not for points. It's just a purely for fun deal. And yeah, Talladega is a good time, but a lot of times Talladega ends bad for a lot of folks. So all these guys showing up, they're racing for Joe, and it's a good time. It's great seeing them all out there.
For sure, as the pace truck's getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. I know Joe and Eddie are probably looking at each other in VR right now, trying to figure out when to go so they can get a good jump together here.
I'll be the first to tell you I'm off at restarts. It looks like Joe gets an awesome restart right there. See if Eddie can follow up behind him. It looks like Joe's going to try and give Eddie a little bit of a tow, see if he can't pull him in front of that third place truck right now, and see if they can't link up.
Joe timed that restart real well. It really spreads out the field. And you're starting to see a little bit of single file racing more towards the back of the pack.
Some of these guys have burned their fast repairs already, so you might see a little bit more cautious racing, a little more conservative, maybe not sending it 3 wide where it doesn't need to be sent 3 wide, but the 2 wide racing is going to continue, I promise you.
Yep. And don't get it twisted, these guys are not letting Joe win this race. We told them to race them like they were racing for points out there, so as you're seeing right now is Uncle Todd and Mark Schaefer are going to hook up there on the outside. It's Todd Mays and Mark Schaefer's.
Once again, we've got a 4-car breakaway, looks like, up front, and it's going to be a 4-car battle for the lead.
Yeah, and right behind you've got Kyle Mays and Dean Qualley hooking up, so it's kind of interesting. We got a little bit of tandem racing, it looks like, going on here from his. They're going to jump up to the high side and try to take it 3 wide.
I didn't expect that at all. The tandem drafting, I didn't expect to see this. I expected to see a couple, maybe 2-3 lines of 4 or 5 cars, but this tandem racing is actually really fun to watch.
Great move for Todd Mays. He jumps up. Oh, Joe gives Todd the business there. Almost turns him around. Now he's going to move up to the high side. He's going to get a push from Shavers. See Eddie Morris giving a push now. The Todd Mays. Oh, we got one around Matt Knights.
Wrecking behind them.
It's like Matt Knights and I believe David Wright involved in that as well. Oh, Griff got in it as well. Cue the cows. See what we can see. Let's take a look here.
Looks like a little bit of net code might have come into play there, Josh.
We're going to take a look at it here from the blimp. I know it's not the closest of views, but it'll give us a good view of what happened there. And nope, you know what that was? That was the birds are in the way. The pusher pushing the third place car pushing the pusher there, and turned Matt Knights around. And then after the fact, Dave Wright and William Griffith got involved in that as well. So I think if we rewind this back, we'll actually see. I believe the 84 may have actually, not on purpose, but gave a little shove here, right there to the 55, pushes him to the outside. Then there's a little bit of contact between Dean and Matt Knights there.
And at these high speeds, a little bit of contact equals exactly what you're seeing on screen right now. It's absolute calamity. You can get away with a couple of them, but most of the time, whenever you make contact with somebody 170, 180 miles an hour, that's exactly what happens.
Yep. We hope if you're of the drinking age, you're enjoying your favorite adult beverage while watching this. I know we are.
Can confirm.
And we're having a little bit of fun up here in the booth here as we honor our good friend, Joe Wright. The nice thing is, too, we've got a bit of race control out there, too, to make this a little bit more of a fun race, too. Help these guys out. Make sure it's a good race. And we thank the Rebels boys for stepping up. Charlie Gates, Joshua Thompson, and Mr. Kleeman.
Those are the same guys, if y'all aren't aware. Those are the same guys that run race control for the Rebels series on Sunday night. They do a bang-up job. They're really excellent. They're spot on their calls. I haven't seen anybody that just flat out wrong on it. So big shout out to those guys. It's great to see them stepping in, helping out, especially on this deal. You know, it's a one-off intensity kind of based race. They didn't have to come over here and do this. They're doing this out of the goodness of their heart. I don't think any of those guys have ever had the privilege of talking to Joe Wright like I have. But to come over here, and it's just a respect thing for the intensity and everything that y'all have done for over all of us over at Rebels, that they come over here, help us out, and run race control for us.
For sure, and we appreciate you guys popping out. And I just want to go back to something we were talking about earlier, Kinder. As of right now, the exact lap count is 4,091,769,999 laps.
All right, I got a challenge for you, Josh.
All right.
In your mind, see if you can count that high before this race ends.
I know. I don't got enough fingers and toes.
Yeah, I understand that completely. I'm the same exact way. That's quite a few laps. iRacing has come a long way. I've seen some videos and stuff from whenever iRacing first kind of kicked off and some of the earlier stuff that they've done. And looking at it now, especially with, I don't know, was broadcasting a big thing whenever iRacing first kicked?
No, I mean, there was broadcasters because they came over from, NR 2003 and in Heat and things like that, but it just is never really a big thing like it is today. And now it seems like there's 100 broadcasters there on iRacing, and it's really neat to be able to broadcast these races like this and be able to let you guys at home watch. Steve Donald asks, Kinder, are you sharing your drinks with your cows? They look drunk in the replays.
Well, they might have had a few drinks in the old records rerun there. I can't either confirm nor deny, but that is a graphic I made up, and it seems to be a big hit. I've got a lot of compliments on it, and it's really fun. So I'll give you a little bit of a background there. My dad's the one that kind of sponsored me and then also sponsored the Records Rewind through the Rebels series, and Atlee actually hopped in earlier and said, hey, we should use the Kinder Farm and Ranch Records Rewind thing. It's just something I made up. It's actually a Google image I pulled down. So not technically our cows. I don't think our cows have ever been on a teeter-totter in their life, but it's still fun. It's still a good thing, and it gives a little bit of humor to the calamity that happens on the track.
That is for sure. That's one thing we've always done with the Wreckage Rewinds, is have a little bit of fun with it. You've all seen them through the years, whether it's the Isaiah Gill dumping his tires on the restart and wrecking the entire field.
That's still one of my favorite ones, hands down. One of my favorite ones.
Or what's another one of my favorite ones? Oh, as a Cowboys fan, I've got the Dallas Cowboys medical team plowing through the field there.
The runaway golf.
The runaway golf cart. Yep.
Yeah.
I've used that one a few times. So we have a little bit of fun with it, and that's what it's all about. Entertaining you guys. That's why I'm here. I'm here for your entertainment.
we do a great job of it. I like going back and watching these broadcasts back for sure.
I do appreciate that very much. But Kinder, we got re-racked, restacked, and getting ready to refire here.
Oh yeah, lights are off on the old pace truck there, the Chevy Silverado look-alike, and we'll see how things shake out here as we keep going. One thing I'm noticing here, I don't see some of these trucks. They might have burned all their fast repairs already.
Yeah, I see Dave Wright and William Griffith both on pit road. So a couple cars losing some steam here as we're getting ready to go back racing. Joe Wright's going to lead them back to the restart zone. Eddie Morris to his outside. There's the green flag back in the air. Joe takes it all the way to the flag here.
He's going to jump up in front of Eddie there. You know, I think him and Eddie, I think they've got something going here. I think they're trying to work together as much as humanly possible. See if they can't snag a 1-2 here.
Yeah, look at Atman there up into the 4th position. Trying to make something happen here as well, so...
Intensity broadcasting 1-2-3 on the outside line there. That's going to be something dangerous that all these guys have to look out for sure.
Absolutely, as Joe Wright. Joe Wright's got a little bit of damage to the front of that car, too, as he's going to leave Atman stranded up there on the high side, and they're going to be 4 wide. Nope, they fall back to 3.
Just blazed up the middle there. Is that the 7 truck again?
That's Logan Hagerman blasting up the middle. We know Hagerman knows how to get it done on the super speedways. He was running for a championship last night in the Pelican Series.
He had an awesome run through the middle. I don't know where he came from, but he just made up a lot of ground.
And we know Logan Hagerman's good in these trucks, as he is the iOS Truck Series champion from 2 seasons ago.
He's going to duck in there behind old Mark Shavers, see if he can't give him a push. Mark Shavers, if I'm not mistaken, he led quite a bit of this race already, so see if they can't work together and see if they got something for their Eddie and Joe up there.
He has his Atlan taking it 4 wide.
Sam getting the raw end of that deal for sure. As Brian Nudie goes by him, looks like Atlee's going to stay on the high side there.
Yeah.
Sam's going to run that middle line with Alex V sneaking on the inside of him.
Yeah, nobody running to help Atlee there. He's going to fall all the way back to the back. I'm not sure which quali that is. That could be Dean. That could be Brooke. That could be Jackson.
There's a whole slew of qualities out here, huh?
Yeah, they are. As it's a racing family. Dean is the father of Brooke and Jackson. Jackson, I know, is Atlee's age, 12-year-old. Very, very fast racer. And Brooke, their daughter, also been pretty quick in the ARCA series in the iOS this year as well. So right now we got a 4-car pull-away up front.
Once again, it's 4-car pull-away. Logan Hagerman, Mark Shavers, Eddie Morris, and, of course, Joe Wright leading this thing right now. They've gone single file. I wouldn't be so... Oh, Eddie's stepping out. Looks like he might... Maybe he's getting hot. Maybe he's going to try and drop back a little bit, try and get that engine cooled down.
For sure. And, well, personally, I don't remember how much tape I left on these things.
I'm going to say this is your set, so you'd be the one to know how far you can push somebody. Oh, 55 there. I believe that's the 55 of Kyle Mace getting a good run outside. Looks like he's going to have... Is that Nudie on his outside there?
Yep, Brian Nudie with the push.
Mace pushing.
Yep.
So the 4-car breakaway quickly turned into a 6-car battle for the lead.
Yep, as the pack is all back together now, and you can see that outside lane really working as Kyle May is getting a great shove from Nudie here, and going to put Kyle up to the lead here. Actually, I take that back. Kyle Mays is the last car on the lead lap. So Brian Nudie is actually your leader.
No kidding.
Yep, so Kyle May is trying to get this lap back the hard way, and right now he is the very, very tail of the lead lap, but his Uncle Todd, giving a big shove to Joe here.
Steve Uncle's going to try and cheat him out of that, getting it back the hard way, as he's pushing Joe on the outside pretty good, along with Logan Hagerman out there on the outside.
Again, Kyle May is no slouch here at the Super Speedways, as he is the Pelican champion.
That outside line was a heck of a run on the outside. Joe leaves him hanging on the outside, though. ducks down in front of Kyle.
With a lot of racing to go. We still got, if they cross the line this time, we're going to have 16 laps to go. So about 34 miles. And Todd getting a great shove now from Hagerman. Take a look from Hagerman's roll bar here.
And folks, you're seeing it firsthand right now how close these trucks actually are. It's a game of inches. It really is. Not to quote Al Pacino on Any Given Sunday, but it's all about the inches. It's all about giving and taking and trying to get runs here and there.
As we look off of Hagerman's back bumper here, and you can see just how close and tight it is.
And this is just 2 wide racing, Josh. When these guys get 3 wide, it's a completely different ballgame. Like the intensity level goes through the roof. The stress, the anxiety. As I got a little bit anxious right there, as it looks like Joe was about to get wiped out, but they checked up on it. And the intensity goes through the roof whenever you go 3 wide. This 2 wide racing is plenty good for me. This is my bread and butter zone right here. 2 wide racing. I'm good with that. It goes 3 wide, and I get a little nervous.
As they rocket down the backstretch here, still 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Kyle Mays giving the big shove here to Joe Wright. Brian Duty, a little bit of damage to the right side of that truck, but able to make it stay up there. As looks like Hagerman might be getting hot now, and he's going to move to the high side and leave Todd stuck in the middle and see if anybody goes with Hagerman up there. Looks like here comes
Hagerman's going to have a little bit of help with the old 69 truck there of Dean Qualley.
Yep, those 2 Canucks there on the outside trying to make something happen. Brian Nudie now leading the middle lane. With Todd Mays right behind him.
And right behind them is Atlee the At-Man. He's a heck of a broadcaster. We get to enjoy him on Thursday nights over at the Thunderstruck Super Series in the Super Late Models. I really enjoy watching his races. He's filled in, I think, once for you and Rebels whenever we were at Bristol, and it was a good time having him on board.
Yeah, we got some tight racing now. Oh, there's going to be some contact here. Eddie Morris.
Looks like Atlee got up in the wall just a touch.
Yeah, Eddie Morris got shoved down below the apron. He's able to hold on to it. Looks like he's going to lose the draft. Oh, Nudie gets turned!
Joe Wright down in the grass, coming back up. Looks like he's going to hold on to it.
And Eddie.
Too much damage.
Eddie just got hit from Shavers, and let's bring the cows.
Let's bring the cows out, Josh. Come on with them.
At least it's not the duck call.
I can get it if you want me to. It's sitting right here next to me. I'm always ready.
Yep. So we're going to rewind this one just a little bit further because we're going to see a lot of action going on. So we got a lot to break down in this one because this one actually truly starts on the backstretch, even though they wrecked in the tri-oval. You see Brian Nudie. Actually, you see Kyle Mays and Joe Wright kind of push up the track a little bit. And that forces Atman and Todd Mays up there. Then Eddie Morris gets a little loose there in the bottom, chases up the track. Hagerman's there to help him catch, and we see 8 tires working better than 4. Fortunately, Eddie going to fall back here. And then as they're coming into the tri-oval, a big shove from the 13 of Shavers got Nudie out of shape, and he tried to collect it, comes back down across the track into Joe Wright, and at that point, the track just starts getting blocked. See Shavers getting turned around by Kyle Mays. Sam Wetstein able to sneak through. Logan Hagerman, Todd Mays, Atman up on the high side sneaking through as well. There goes Matt Knights. Looks like Sam, Dean Qualley, Sam Wetstein, and then Eddie Morris. You see that blue car right there at the top of the screen. Shavers just comes back across the track and plows him. Tough break for Eddie Morris, who had that saved. But unfortunately, nothing he could do because it happened so fast. Well, when we go back racing, Kinder, we're going to have about 10 laps to go. And I did not check to see if we have green-white checkers for this, but I imagine there will be at least 2 if we need them. And I don't know if Kinder's trying to talk or not, but I don't hear him keying up, so.
I'm sorry about that, Josh. I'm back with you. I had a phone call from work. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's more important than this, so absolutely.
The hazard of being on call 24/7, I guess.
On call 24/7 and enjoying your adult beverages. Dayton does confirm there are 2 green-white checkers if we need them.
2 green-white checkers with 12 to go. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out with old Hagerman up front. Where'd old Joe Wright end up? He's back in 14th spot. Is he down laps?
No, he is not down laps, but I believe.
Okay.
Let's see if he's got a brand new truck here.
Okay, that's his brother. Is that David Wright that's down laps?
Yes, that'd be D. Wright.
Okay.
Caught up in a couple of them earlier in the race. Yeah, Joe Wright's got a fresh truck now. We see that right here.
It's a good-looking Toyota there. And I'm not a fan of Toyotas, but that's a good-looking Toyota.
When I painted these up, I tried to make it as team-like as possible. So Joe's got the blue color there. I rock the purple. Logan Hagerman was rocking the pink. And D. Wright was rocking the gray. So all 4 trucks looked identical except for the body color there. And it was kind of cool because you could see where everybody was on track. That way you don't get confused with each other, you know?
Well, I'm sure there's nothing worse as a broadcaster than having all the trucks painted up the same. I know the Arcadian guys over in Rebels, they all have their trucks painted up pretty much identical. And I can't imagine that's much fun for you.
The Arcadian guys, the Kool-Aid Monster guys, at least Goat Locker, they like to use the same paint job, just different colors.
Yeah, their base colors are just a touch different, but they're very similar still.
Yep. And then there's some people who like to change their paint job every couple of weeks. Kinder.
Hey.
No, I as I said, I appreciate the paint jobs. I think it's neat when you guys, especially the Rebels. So if you guys haven't watched a Rebels race, I highly recommend you tune in on a Sunday night. They have a doubleheader in the truck series. They have the Outlaws at 8 Eastern and the Rebels trucks at 10 Eastern. And they always try to do something fun. Last week, we had a bunch of college football trucks, which I never picked a truck for you. I just kind of realized that.
It's okay. I'm just going to say that the truck I painted for somebody else, in my mind, that's the one that won.
Yeah, I was really partial to the Kai Shapperts.
That's not the one I painted. That's not the one.
I was disappointed not to see any blue and maize out there. But as a big Michigan fan, I am. But yeah, that was really neat. A lot of times they do the every year they do the Mission 22 race, which is always a blast to see, where we talk about all the veterans in that league. And that was the last race I believe that Joe announced with me, because I remember doing a shout out to Joe. We had his own card there for his retirement.
I believe that's correct. I remember that one pretty well. I believe it was at Michigan, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
That would be correct.
Yeah.
And yeah, those guys are a lot of fun. They do a good job keeping the racing clean, unless they're at a short track. And
can confirm once again.
But the pace truck's pulling off, and we got already got some pushes. Atman is right on the back bumper of Todd Mays, trying to give him a good start here, as Logan Hagerman is going to lead him back to the restart zone.
Atman's been hanging around the top 10, top 7-ish. I think now that he's up front, he might try and hold on to it.
Green flag's in the air. Great jump from Logerman. And Sam Wetstein not getting a very good jump there. That's going to allow those two on the outside, I think, to get a little bit of a run here on our leader.
They've got a bigger on that outside right now. It's only going to get bigger on exit, but Sam's sucking up to that bumper. Let's see if he can counter it and see if he can get a push down the backstretch here.
And I've run with Sam in the Xfinity Series. I do know that he's a pretty good super speedway racer as well.
Sam has improved across the board. Last season he was on my team with me, and this season they kind of split ways, kind of blew the team up a little bit. But just watching him, and I love racing around Sam. He's a very respectful racer, and I think y'all are seeing this right here, right now. He'll push you till Kingdom Come, but white flag comes out, and it's every man for himself. We'll see what Sam has to do here.
Guys, we have just under 10 laps to go in the cross the line here. We got 9 laps to go here at Talladega, and Logan Hagerman, Todd Mays still battling for the lead here. They got some push, as you said, Sam Wetstein and Atlee Atman-Weiss, but right behind Atlee, we see that 82 machine of Joe Wright coming back in the picture.
And right behind him, Logan Sturgeon. Logan's a heck of a super speedway racer. Let's see if him and Joe can't link up and get something done.
Atlee gives a great shove to Todd. Todd's going to go down to the bottom, and this is going to be an opportunity for Atman to show what he's got, because now he's got Joe Wright giving him a big shove, and Logan looking up to the high side now. I think he's going to get shuffled back as Atman chooses the high side, and that's going to put Hagerman in that sucker hole there.
3-1 in the middle. Looks like a little bit of contact. Sam's down on the grass. Hagerman spinning around through the trial. We're right across the start-finish line. Caution's out.
Tough break for Logan there as we take a look, see what happened to the 7 machine. And I think he just might have got a little loose there trying to get back down in front of, who was that down on the bottom? Sam there. So let's take a look here from the chopper, because I think this will probably be our best view of this right here.
So Josh, that's actually something that you taught me, that you said that I paid attention to, but through the tri-oval of Talladega here, it flattens out. It doesn't stay banked as well as the rest of the track does, and so things get a little hairy through the middle of the tri-oval.
For sure. So you can actually see, I'll rewind it just a little bit. For those of you who've never really run Talladega, right down here on this bottom lane, there is a bump down there, and it's really easy. As you see Sam kind of pushing up the track, he's trying to get away from those bumps, and I think he just kind of slid up the track a little bit too much. Logan was running and pinching him down just a little bit, but I mean, that's his prerogative right there. We see Dave Wright, who's multiple laps down, misses this one, almost gets inside Nudie, but yeah, just those 2 trucks involved. That
is a great miss right there. That's something that you got to know how much room you have on the outside when there's a car spinning in front of you in the middle. That's a great move there.
And look who's leading the race.
Is that Atlee up front there?
That is Atlee Atman-Weiss in the 5 machine, currently in the lead. As we talked about before, Atlee having a great run at Langley last week, coming home in 3rd place, his first podium of the season. And Atlee, I believe, is having a fantastic rookie season in that Bandolero.
Unfortunately, since I live out in the middle of the flyover states of the middle of the United States of America, there's not a whole lot of racing opportunities or a chance to even go watch some good races. As a matter of fact, in my state, I don't know if there is still an active asphalt track in the state. So I'm not saying I live vicariously through Atlee here or anything, but I do enjoy keeping up with his progress and his career, following his progress on the Facebook page and all that stuff. So great to see him getting that top 3 for sure.
And it was put up on his Facebook page. So if you don't follow Atlee on Facebook, you can find Atlee Weiss Racing on Facebook. And Atlee was named Rookie Driver of the Month for August.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, by Jack Dodson Racing Insider News with Scott Allen. So awesome opportunity and awesome congrats for the recognition for Atlee here.
Well, an opportunity there and an opportunity here as well, as he's going to have Joe Wright starting right behind him. So see if they can't link up to Intensity broadcast members and see if they can't push this thing to the front and stay up front as we got, 7 to go here?
Yeah, we cross the line here. It looks like the lights on the pace truck are still on. So we should be going green with 5 laps to go. So we'll have a 5-lap shootout to decide this here. Looks like we do have a couple cars a lap down. Eddie Morse and Sam Wetstein, both currently a lap down.
So you folks have stuck around for this much of the race. Here's what it comes down to. It's going to be a 5-lap shootout. The intensity is going to be through the roof. These guys are going to be pushing. They're going to be trying things that they haven't tried all race. Maybe they've tried just as a test run, but they're going to be trying to make it stick this time. Things are about to get wild, Josh.
It is going to get wild for sure, especially with the class of drivers we have in here as well. As you said, Logan Sturgeon taking the win away from me in the Xfinity Series at Daytona earlier this year. And I wish I would have been able to run Talladega, but I was at Watkins Glen at the time.
Well, from my perspective, you definitely had the better time at Watkins Glen. I did not have a good time at Talladega in the Xfinity Series.
Watkins Glen was wild. And I know Eddie Morris can confirm this. When it comes to road course racing, most people are like, it's road course racing. You only see the cars a couple times a lap. I'll tell you what, that atmosphere is like none other. I'm not saying that it's Talladega, because I've never been to Talladega, and those who have been to Talladega have seen some stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I can confirm, I saw some stuff at Watkins Glen, and I highly recommend. Mary White said we had a great time at the Glen. We did. The only time y'all had a great time, the only time I didn't have a great time was during that huge storm that rolled through, and I was stuck underneath the pop-up eating some pizza. Kinder, if you want to hear about that, we can talk about that later. But
it sounds like you had a great time to me. Stuck anywhere and eating pizza, that sounds like a fun time to me.
So Saturday, we were going to go down to the infield for the party that they always have, and we saw a little pop-up storm coming. So I thought it was going to be nothing. I had to run down to Walmart. I came back. It was just starting to sprinkle. Everybody was kind of getting ready. The pizza was amazing, Mary. You're right. It was good pizza. The little deep dish action. All of a sudden, there was a crack of thunder and lightning at the same time. The skies opened up. There was like 40-mile-an-hour winds. And I'm just standing there under a pop-up getting soaked eating pizza. In the middle.
That's the life, man.
Yeah.
That's the life.
I mean,
hey, we got the pace truck ducking off here, my friend.
For sure. And would I do it again? Absolutely. That was a blast. So Atlee's going to lead him back down to the restart zone this time. He's got Todd Mazes outside, and he's going to have Joe Wright giving him the big bumper here. As Atlee's going to lead him back to the restart zone. Looks like he's going to wait till the green flag comes out, which he does. Green flag's in the air. And we're back racing. And look at the shove that Joe Wright is able to give.
Man, back behind him, that inside line did not get a good restart. Alex Veith on that inside line looks like he lagged back just a touch too much.
Almost looked like he missed a gear or started in the wrong gear there, because he fell back quickly, and that stacked the rest of the field up. And now we've got two distinct groups, as Atlee and Joe are down on the bottom lane. You got Nudie and Todd Mays on the high side. Dean Qualley also on the high side up there, and you've got the 51, Alex Veith, on the bottom. But right now, that high lane being 3 trucks long, going to have the advantage, and Atman's going to have to surrender the lead to that 25 as we come across the line here in just a moment to take 4 laps to go. And you know, you're seeing now, you're seeing that big run that field behind is getting, as they got a huge draft off the front here. As I was mentioning, those trucks push a big hole in the air, and now you see Logan Hagerman and Eddie Morris up to the high side. They're catching the 12 of William Griffith here. He's going to stay down on the apron out of the way.
William Griffith finally coming out of pit road as Hagerman takes the lead here with Eddie Morris giving a huge push.
And I see Dave right in the middle. Looks like he's got a lot of damage fixed. So I believe he's still a couple laps down. He is, but he's showing a little bit of speed here.
Brian Nudie falling back here as he gets stuck on that outside lane, as a lot of these cars are kind of single filed out on the inside. And as soon as I say that, of course, they go 2 wide up front for the lead.
And 3 wide further on back as we see the Fish and Alex Veith up there on that 3rd lane trying to make something happen. Nudie kind of stuck back there in the sucker hole with nobody to go with him. He's got Dave Wright now to his back bumper, and he's starting to make a little move forward. Oh, one loose on the bottom. I believe that was Alex Veith. No, that was 55 Kyle Mays, excuse me. And Eddie Morris is going to get out of it. I think he might have been a little hot there, or for some reason had to get out of it as we got 3 laps to go. Maybe he's just getting out of the way to let these guys race it out.
Yeah, it was him being lapped down. I think that's what it was. He did the old gentleman's move there and just kind of bowed out of contention there. That way he didn't have an effect on the end of the race. As Joe Wright here is pushing, I believe you call him Logerman, is going to turn 3 here.
Yeah, Logan Hagerman up to the front. Joe Wright giving him the big push. You got Atlee Atman Weist giving a big push to Todd Mays in that middle lane as they're trying to make something happen here. Brian Udy's all alone on the outside now as they're going to leave him for dead. Joe Wright makes the big move to the outside to get around Logan. They come across the line. Popsicle sticks in the air. We got 2 laps to go, Kinder, to settle this here.
Go with old Joe Wright in the lead. I know you said they weren't letting him win it, so you expect to see a battle here for the end. Logan Hagerman fighting back on the inside with a 13 there of Mark Shavers, our early race leader, pushing back and trying to get back up front here.
Yeah, and Brian Nudie up on that high side. Alex Veith tried to get up there in front of him, but not able to happen. But Nudie's getting a little bit of run here on that high side all by himself as they come into turns 3 and 4, still side by side for the lead with Logan on the bottom, Joe Wright on the high side.
This is a great battle to watch. These cars have really kind of just started to battle each other as far as the rows go and try and see if they can't push their row or their line further ahead of the next guy in front of them.
Well, we will.
As the side tracks are coming into play, we're going to the white flag lap here, 1 to go.
Yeah, we are not going to see a green-white checkers. Atlee Atman Weist now up to the high side, trying to get that third lane going. Nobody goes with him. He's going to fall back a little bit. Here comes the 51 to Alex Veith and Logan Sturgeon up on the high side, trying to make something happen. A couple Logans. I'm not used to having more than one Logan in the race.
2 Logans in the field is just too confusing.
Joe Wright
with a pretty good push. Todd Mays shoving him out there up front. They're clear down low. Let's see what happens here as they come off of going into turn 3, off of turn 4. That's when the magic happens. Let's see if Todd Mays, he's hanging back, see if he can get a run.
Yeah, the
Let's
start.
see if he's got anything for Joe Wright.
Start finish line past the tri-oval here as Joe Wright's trying to block every lane now. He's going to block the top, block the bottom, gets in the Shavers. He's going to hold on to the lead.
Let's go, Joe.
Big move on the wreck behind
him.
Joe Wright across the line. Joe's going to win here.
There we go. It's just 4 wide for second place across the line. Oh, my goodness. Almost 5 wide. That was insane.
I want to bring that back just a little bit. Congrats to Joe Wright.
They were almost 6 wide, Josh. Oh, my goodness. The 40, the 64, the 69, 25, 51, and the 7 were all pushing right there. That was nuts. Look at that. All of them fighting for that second position.
4, 5. That is 6 wide at Talladega with Joe Wright taking the win.
And folks, you don't get that anywhere else but guys that know how to race super speedways. That is some excellent racing across the board.
And that's going to let Joe Wright come up to the front stretch, and he's going to burn that thing down.
Oh, absolutely. A celebration race for his retirement, and he brings down the W. It's going to be a great show, and man, you'd love to absolutely see that Joe Wright bring home the W.
And just as we predicted, they didn't let him win.
Oh, no. They were going for it. Across the board, they were going for it as he is burning it down across start-finish line right now.
And how about this? The field stopping there and watching him celebrate. That is a very classy move here. And are we going to see a little Rebels action here?
I wouldn't put it past him. There comes Logan Sturgeon. There he is. Attaboy, Logan. There's Alex. Everybody piling in now. Folks, if you don't know, over at the Original Rovers Racing League, anytime somebody wins the race, they come across the start-finish line after the cool-down lap. They burn it down. They get about a half a turn in, and it's a demolition derby after that. It's no disrespect. It's all in good fun, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. All in good fun, celebrating Joe Wright in his retirement.
Oh, they're going to push him right out of the track here. Yeah, they did. They pushed him right out.
Pushed him into no man's land. Look at that. That's pretty good stuff.
That's
man.
awesome. Let's take a look at our final results as Joe Wright, the man of the hour, is the man of the hour with the win here tonight. Logan Hagerman coming home in second. Todd Mays in third. Alex Veith having a great run in fourth. And Matt Knights coming home in fifth. And you're going to find Dean Qualley, Brian Nudie, Logan Sturgeon, Kyle Mays, and Atlee Atman Weiss rounding out your top 10. Mark Shavers, Eddie Morris, Dave Wright, Sam Wetstein, and Griff rounding out the top 15. And I think this is just the perfect amount of cars. We had 15. They put on a fantastic race, and I don't think Joe could ask for anything better than that, even though we know they weren't going to let him win. We saw him.
Here's the good thing about it. We'll get to ask him about it whenever we pull him in the booth here in a minute.
He's the only one in the waiting room, so let's pull him down in here. And Joe, you've got Garrett and Josh in the booth. You got me?
Heck yeah, I do.
Man, so at the beginning of the race, we told them, don't let you win. And in fact, we didn't want you to win. No, I'm kidding. We told them, we wanted to see a great race and see who could push you up there. And knew if you got up there, you're going to hold it. And I don't know if you looked in your mirror, but they were 6 wide behind you across the line.
Oh yeah, I was trying to be wide.
But
big props to Shavers there, not wrecking me. He got into me pretty good, but I think he had a little lift in there.
You threw a heck of a block on him, that's for sure, because he was coming.
Well, he had it if I didn't do that, for sure.
Yeah, no, overall, fantastic race. We saw a couple cars get a little loose. I forgot the set gets a little loose there on that high side at first, but man, awesome racing all around. Great race. Take us through it. That last couple laps there.
Oh man, well, let's just start with the beginning. I'm going 3 wide, just sending, and I saw we had a couple resets, so let's see what this thing can do. And then I kind of settled down after I was leading and got taken out there, so I got my first repair done. And then I wanted to shove Atman to the front. We got him up there, and then there was a caution. And I tried to push him, but man, Kyle and maybe it was Todd and Nudie on the outside were just too strong, got around us. That shuffled me back. And then Todd got on my bumper, and he was the guy. He pushed me to the win ultimately, so got a big shout out to him there at the end. And I can't express how elated I am with all these guys coming out and doing this for me. That was pretty sweet, seeing all the paint jobs and seeing everybody on the track with different stuff going on and talking the whole time. It was a great time. I'm glad I was able to get myself here in time to see it and be a part of it. So awesome.
Now,
well, Joe, you touched on it and you brought it up. All these guys are out here for you. I brought it up a couple times in the broadcast. You've touched all of us in some way, shape, or form, either by being a broadcaster for us or racing against us or any of the sort. You and Josh Hall have been racing together for, I guess he said 11 years. This race is nothing but for you, and I don't have any questions for you, but I just got to say congratulations on your retirement. And it was excellent to be a part of this, and it is really fantastic to see all these guys come together and celebrate your retirement, my friend.
Yeah, for me, that's what iRacing's all about. It's the friendships you make, the people that surround this thing that we call a simulation. People call it video games, but I think it's more of a community. Josh and I and Atman and everybody in the broadcast booth talk about it all the time. There's a community involved in this thing, and the guys that are part of these things make it all worth the while. So big shout out to all of the guys that showed up and the ones that couldn't make it. Thanks for attempting anyhow. But awesome. Yeah, it was sweet.
Yeah, I do know. I did have some great regards from Jason Loy, Jason Yacht, Rob Malone, Jimmy Crow. They weren't able, and John Goke was supposed to be here tonight, but John wasn't able to make it. But I was trying to get as many people as we could here to celebrate you and have some fun doing what you love to do. And when did it finally settle in, or you figure out what this race was all about?
When I got into the Discord server and I saw everybody's cars, I was like, huh? Oh, okay. Because I had Dave sign in for me so I could get on. So I called Dave on my way home and was like, hey, sign me in so I can join. I might be like 10 minutes late. I got in there with like 2 minutes left in qualifying. I was 3 feet from the line for my qualifying lap when the time ran out. So yeah, starting at the back obviously works, so it's all good.
Well, we got to say you broke Josh Hall's stream because as soon as he clicked to you as soon as you got on track, and as soon as he clicked to you, his iration said, "No, I'm not going to work anymore. Just shut everything down." So we had a little bit of technical difficulty starting out, but it was great seeing you out there on the track. Great seeing all these guys running with you.
Yeah, it was fun. Again, thanks for everybody. Original Rebels, the old iOS SCRA guys, all the new leagues that are coming that we're going to be doing this year. And I got to thank Dayton and Atman and Josh the most. You guys are awesome people, and we continue to keep growing, and it's awesome stuff. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to throw out there. How'd you like that that paint job on Atman's car there? To bring back memories?
Oh yeah, I was talking to him under the caution right before I pushed him to the front because I hadn't underseen it or understood it at first, and I like that. I'm like, oh, now I get it. And then I said something to him, and then right after that's when I pushed him to the front. I was like, I gotta push this kid to the front. So here we go.
Well, man, awesome race. I know you gave a bunch of thank yous. Anybody else you got to shout out before we let you go?
Now, just mom and dad for watching if they were still watching, and anybody else. And thank God Jason Yacht and Lloyd didn't show up so I could actually win the race.
A couple of chats. I was going to say a couple of chats I just saw. We were talking about the Glen under yellow. Your mother said we had a great time at the Glen. I brought up the pizza and Storm. She said, great pizza. Then she said, congratulations, Joe. Way to go. Cassie says, way to go, Joe. Eddie Moore says, congrats, Joe. Sam says, congrats, Joe. Thank you for your service. And then Andrew Wright says, shocker, they let Joe win his own race.
I can promise you Shavers wasn't letting me win that thing.
Drew, I can confirm from the booth here, Drew, he was not given that race by any means. So they said, JK,
well, Joe,
congrats.
it was great talking to you again. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever, but it's always great talking to you. And
right,
hopefully I get to talk to you again soon, my friend.
Hey, appreciate you guys.
Take care, Joe. Well, Kinder, that's everything you could want from a race like this tonight. I mean, the man wins his own. The man wins his own race. We had some fun. And that's what it was all about tonight. Was having some fun and letting you guys join in on the celebration. Those who weren't able to get into the race tonight, or those of you who don't have iRacing and just wanted to see what the community was all about and see what this was all about tonight. So it was a blast. And Kinder, you got anything else you want to add?
Man, I just got to, once again, thank y'all for letting me be part of this. It's something that I'm not a big broadcaster by any means. I think I've done a couple races here and there. So hopping up here with you, Josh, it was great fun. And you're exactly right. You couldn't want anything more out of a race. 6 wide for P2 with Joe bringing home the win. I mean, it's the perfect Talladega race in my opinion.
That is for sure. And I just want to double check here. I'm in the wrong room here. Trying to find your Send It Cup series here, which I can't see the schedule. Are they running this Saturday?
No, we are off this week for the holiday weekend, but coming back, we are going to be running at Texas Motor Speedway for the Send It Cup series.
Perfect. So there will be no Intensity Broadcasting broadcasts until I believe Monday, as we'll have our regular lineup start back up. No, there's no ARCA race. So we'll have the next race will be Tuesday night in the SESRA Dirt Late Model Race. We saw a wild one at the Chili Bowl last week. If you didn't check that one out, I highly recommend going back and watching that one. That was an entertaining race. 50 laps of 14 late models going around the Chili Bowl. Yeah, that was a wild one for sure. Then we'll have the
track.
Yeah, for sure. Then we'll have the LNS late model series going on after that. And then, so join us back here on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, Garrett Kinder joining us tonight. My name's Josh Hall. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know when we're broadcasting. And as our boy, before I say that, congratulations again to Joe Wright on the win and the retirement. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over